Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy Skywalker OG coming at you with some more Rise of Kingdoms content, and today we're going to be talking about my boy Nevsky and that pairing that I was using in this 307 KvK, and that was Nevsky+William, and arguably, well, at least in this man's opinion, the best cavalry march for open field. Now, of course, we were rocking out with some pretty decent gear here. We didn't have these two iconics, the ones on our ring and the one on our horn. We didn't have it during the KvK. We were actually able to obtain that after KvK. So everything else on our gear was pretty much the same, and of course we were max tech. We were also fighting against a lot of max tech players. We were rocking out with the full talent tree of the cavalry units, except for the Undying Fury and the Equestrian Excellence. We really wanted to get this rallying cry because I wanted to increase the damage dealt for the first 10 seconds, because I was really trying to get in there, pop off one of my skills, and then pull out or target a next march. That way I'm really initiating a fight. Every so often I'm not really staying in there to die, or to just pop a crap ton of skills and basically just stay in there and then die. If I was doing that, then I probably would have ran my full skill tree. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't really tested the skill tree out too much on Nevsky, like doing a full skill tree build. I really like this cavalry build that I do. So yeah, that's the talent trees that we are rocking out with. And of course, I'm not saying that it is the best talent tree. We are still working on our talent tree. We kind of tweak it every KvK or so. So let's go ahead and get on into the Nevsky reports. And I actually deleted quite a few of these because I made a Nevsky video and then I saved it, went to go publish it, and it corrupted. Thankfully, I didn't go through and delete all of our Nevsky reports yet. The bad thing is, though, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you guys a Nevsky buff to be able to show you guys like what my buffs are with this march, because I don't think I have a recent enough report to see our buffs. Yeah, we're not going to be able to see our buffs, but we'll be able, you can pretty much get a good gist of what we were rocking out with our gear. And then of course I can click on a few of these reports up towards the top, so you could actually see these guys, you know, these guys' buffs. Oh, wait a minute, that report's gone too. Okay, so we'll be able to look at the Cyrus one at least. But we already know that these guys had some serious gear, right? They weren't slashes. 960, we all know that 960 had some serious gear. So let's go ahead and get on into these reports without, you know, further yakking off here. Let's see. Where is one of my Nevy boys? Nevy boy, where are you at? And by the way, guys, if nobody noticed it, William got a quote-unquote silent nerf. I'm not going to say it was really a silent nerf because I don't think William's skill ever worked the way that it was worded. But they did finally come out and change his wording on the skill here. No, here. On this skill here, it used to say while on the map, cavalry units. That was it. Like cavalry units gained, you know, gain the 30% attack. It wasn't cavalry units led by this commander. It didn't used to specify that I was led by this commander, because I actually made a video back a few months back saying that William was very, very good if you had a certain amount of cavalry units, because he buffed up other cavalry units on the field. However, of course, keep in mind, guys, he does have a buff that does apply to other marches, but I specifically stated that this buff may or may not apply because it did not specify that it had to be being led by him. It didn't have to be led by him, it just said cavalry units on the map. But now they pretty much specify it. They let you know, hey, this buff's only going to work for his cavalry units. So yeah, that is a thing. You won't pick up any extra buff. You probably never was picking up any extra buff from it, but it did word it in the way that it seemed like you would. I still say that William is still the very top-notch, top-tier cavalry march. He's probably the first one that I would expertise. If I really restarted the game all over again right now, I would save up my gold heads until William came to be. Like I don't see the point of going into Saladin early. I don't see the point of going. There's really no cavalry commander that's worthwhile that held up throughout the times besides Attila and besides William. Attila's still just he rears his ugly little head all the time. Attila Nevsky still a new power rally meta. Like Attila's just here, dude. He's one of the oldest commanders that just keeps rearing his nasty little head. Anyways, let's keep going through this report. We did pretty much get some really good trades with our Nevsky+William. The only time that we started getting, you know, petered out is if the enemies really focused us hard, which you'll see right here. Luigi started focusing me down with all of his marches, which is very, very wise because of the Nevsky damage. You want to get Nevsky out of here. Now, of course, this march wasn't really giving me too much focus, and I was giving him all of the focus. So I mean, you got to take and look at all these reports, and you know, give or take, look at the situation that it's in, look at the difference of the troop numbers, look at, obviously this guy was not focusing me, and I was clearly focusing him, and then of course here this guy was focusing me and I was not focusing him. So I mean, you gotta obviously look at the reports, see how it is. The realistic, like, side trades, these are the ones that you're gonna get. These are the ones where whenever they focus you, this is what you're gonna get. If they're focusing you, you're not focusing them. These are pretty much your bad trades. You're gonna pick up a little bit of AoE. You're gonna pick up some side trades from their AoE, your AoE. I mean, that's just a natural occurrence on the open field. But for the most part, if we look at the big trades, the big dip downs and the big raises up, the big positives and the big negatives, Nevsky+William, every KvK always nets me positive on the open field. Ever since I unlocked the commander, I really think this pairing is a very good investment for low end to high spenders in this game, because I would go up to bat and argue that this is probably the best cavalry pairing for open field. It just does a tremendous amount of damage. It brings a lot of buffs to the field. I mean, William by himself brings a hell of a lot of buffs to the field. He has a AoE, and I know it's kind of a whack little AoE. It's square, but it also has an actual, like, let's see, what am I trying to say? A debuff. Here it is. Right here. Let's just read real quick, okay? And their march speed is reduced by 30% for 3 seconds. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, this debuff here is a huge one. Attack troops extra skill damage from buffs cannot take effect, and their march speed is reduced by 30% for 3 seconds. So the first portion of this, where their damage from buffs cannot take effect, that's the biggest part of it. But this march speed reduction by 30% is pretty nice as well. And this is only from one skill, guys. From one skill, you get a nice little AoE of 1500 damage factor. Of course, it's going to reduce the damage per target hit, but then you're going to debuff them on their buffs. They can't take any effect. March speed reduction by 30%, which is pretty huge, especially when it's coming out of one skill by itself. All cavalry units led by this commander gain 20% increased attack and 15% increased march speed when outside of Alliance territory. Troops led by this commander deal 10% increased damage, which is a great buff for that Nevsky damage. While on the map, cavalry units led by this commander gain 30% attack and normal attacks have a 10% chance to inflict direct damage to the target. Damage factor of 1000. If the target is surrounded, it will take extra damage. Damage factor equals number of surrounding enemies times 100, maximum of 5 enemies. So you can basically add another 1500 damage onto a target, which is pretty big. That's pretty big. That's like adding a whole nother skill for your William. When Hidden Bloodline hits a target, this commander troops gain 20% increased defense for 3 seconds. The Hidden Bloodline hits 2 or more targets, all this commander's troops and nearby allied troops. Whenever it says nearby allied troops like this, it is capped, and that cap is 5 marches. Okay, guys? If there is no specification on this and it just says nearby allied troops, it's usually, or at least as far as we know right now in the game, it is up to 5 marches. So 5 marches will gain 20% increased defense and 50 rage per 3 seconds, or per second for 3 seconds. Sorry, per second for 3 seconds. So William by himself, which we all know Nevsky's like the new taste, the new flavor. We don't really need to read over his skills. Everybody's been checking him out quite often. He's the new rally guy. So yeah. But just looking at William, he brings a lot of versatility and a lot of buffs to the field, and a decent amount of debuffs. Not a lot, but a decent amount of debuffs. Let's go ahead and keep looking. That's pretty much where I got caught out. You can see on the report at the top, guys. If you don't know how to read the report, obviously you can look at here, your blue line, you're good, you're good, you're good. You're gonna see pretty much good reports here, and then once you get, or not too bad at reports, but once you get down to this 277,000 troop mark, I cannot speak tonight. Troop mark. That's whenever the just do straight down. So once you get about right here, that's whenever you'll see all these reports just going really god awful. Right here is a little bit terrible. Here's pretty bad. Here's pretty bad. Here's pretty bad. But here's where it's gonna start getting real bad. It's gonna start getting gnarly down in this area. Yep. There we go. Go, here's some more. I mean, I know that they're not big trade-offs, but these are huge like differences, right? These are a lot bigger than 1 to 10 trades and shit. So it's pretty big. It's pretty big. You definitely don't want to leave your marches in there to the death. And of course, we did try out that Attila Nevsky. I actually really liked Attila Nevsky. This was our rally pairing though. This wasn't a an open field. This was a rally, but you did pretty good. Of course, we had 5 iconics on whenever we did do this rally, so we're missing a couple, but not too many. Not too many. Let's see. Here's another Nevsky report. This is where I used Nevsky+Williams to swarm with the flag. The flag didn't have any like full troops in it, and it wasn't getting reinforced. So I kind of just ran over there and swarmed it up. This didn't happen too many times from 960 side, but the few times that it did happen, I made sure that I took, you know, full abusive power over, and I just made myself feel very powerful, even though I did absolutely nothing, because, yeah. Here's one where I really caught him slipping and had no secondary in that garrison. A couple people kept throwing troops in there, and they just never changed the garrison, so we were able to kill that flag out. It's pretty good. Did some good trades. Obviously, this march is only 183,000, 120,000. These marches are pretty low, so obviously I caught somebody that was low trying to go back, or I caught these guys going back to their, you know, cities while I was coming in fresh, which is nice. It's always nice to pick up a little bit of tasty treats on the way, especially after 960's already been, you know, in and out of you all KvK, and it's been pretty disgusting. Here's a good trade right here. Here's a really big one. Now, obviously, we tried to do our best that we could to focus down the archer marches. This whole dot fighting, guys, I'm going to let you know now, if you're wanting to get good trades or good reports on the field, I'm not saying that it's the best way to fight, or I'm not saying that it's the most efficient way to fight, but if you really want to get trades like this, you want to get the best trades, you want to be really damaging on the field, you really got to figure out a way to deal with the lag, or have a device that can support the lag. Or, I mean, I know there is at certain times, guys, don't get me wrong, I know there is at certain times where you absolutely have to dot fight, but if you're finding yourself dot fighting at all times inside of KvK, you really got to figure out if you need to update your device or what you need to do, because dot fighting is not optimal. This right here, this report here is probably from me dot fighting. This stuff right here is probably from me dot fighting, because this is not focusing the right marches whatsoever. What I should be doing, because I have 5 cavalry marches, is every single archer march that I possibly see on the field, I should be wiping it to pieces. Every single time I see an archer march. I mean, it's just disgusting. Anytime I touch an archer, it's disgusting. If I actually focus them, it's terrible. But, you know, for the enemy, it's terrible. But you can't do that when you're dot fighting. So, I mean, I understand though, Lilith does need to fix the lag in this game. So don't get me wrong, don't hit me up in my comments, be like, oh well, you have this amazing computer, blah blah blah. But nah, dude, I have lag too. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have lag. I'm just saying, the dot fighting is definitely not the cure, guys. The dot fighting is definitely not the cure. I really wish people wouldn't have pushed the whole dot fighting thing so hard, because I like it for whenever it's very laggy and the game's crashing. It's a very good thing to do. But when you're actually able to play the game through, and you're able to it's not lagging all over the place where your marches are 5 minutes away from where you're actually going, that's whenever you need to actually zoom in and target your marches properly. And I feel like, or I see actually, not just feel, just seeing other content creators, they don't anymore. It's like it's dot fighting and that's it. That's how we fight nowadays. And I'm just, I can't, dude. I can't. I want my kills, baby. And you gotta focus the right marches to be able to do so. Anyways, just looking through all these reports, guys. If you notice, or if you look at them closely, you'll notice that there is some big negative trades there, and there is some really big positive trades there, and that's pretty much what you are going to get out of Nevsky+William. Whatever march, once you have that good gear, once you're at that really high tier level of gear, whatever march you focus is going to get nuked down, and you are going to savagely beat them. Unless they really mash you on gear or are superior than you on gear, you're gonna beat that march that you are focusing. However, all the other marches that are focusing you that you're not focusing, like right here, you're gonna get smashed against. If they have good gear on it, you're gonna get smashed against. Okay, there is no there's not really much of a huge like bulky defense or huge counterattack damage that Nevsky or William brings to the table that's gonna reduce all the damage that you're gonna be taking if somebody's hitting you from the side. I mean, there's some defenses in there, there's some reduced damage taken, you know, but there's not anything that really reflects any damage. Like Attila Takeda, he has a lot of insane counterattack damage. So whenever you attack him, you're getting punished for attacking him. There's nothing like that for Nevsky. So he's heavily targeted and heavily punished when he's caught out. So this is one of those marches, guys. If you don't have amazing gear, you don't have high gear on it, you might want to dance around with them on the outskirts of the fight. Otherwise, you're going to take trades like this here, like you see here, where we got caught up and we just got eaten down by pretty much everybody. Of course, we got some big trades, some big positive trades up towards, you know, this way up here, where we actually focus the man's march. You know, we can get some positive trades, but it's going to be where we're focusing them. If we're not focusing their march and they're focusing us, like I said, it's just going to get waxed. So you got to keep that in mind when you are using that Nevsky march. You really got to do a good job at targeting properly, focusing the right march, making sure that you're not overextending with this march, make sure you're not getting yourself in too much trouble. That way you can go ahead and pull him out of there and, you know, get away from the fray. Otherwise, you're going to get trades like this. It's just, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. I don't really see too many of the reports where it's middle ground like this here. This must be like an AoE from both of us hitting each other, because I really don't ever see this. I don't ever see this. It's always big one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like you're not like, you see it, right? I'm not wording it right. It's 2 o'clock in the morning as I'm trying to make this video, guys. You gotta excuse me. But what I'm trying to say is, you see it, right? It's like, it's little trades here and there, but it's not a huge impact, and it's few and far in between compared to the big gap trades. Like, look at this. That's 1 to 3. That's 1 to 6. Like, these are huge trades. 1 to 8. This one's 1 to 15. 1 to 8. Like, I'm just getting moshed here. And then the same thing here. This is a 1 to 3 trade. Or no. This is a 1 to 1.4 trade. Yeah, 1 to 1.4 trade. This one's a 1 to 14 trade, something like that. 1 to 12 trade, somewhere around there. So I mean, the gaps on your trades are always insanely high, or mostly insanely high, either in favor or against you when you're using Nevsky+William. You just gotta roll with it. It's what's gonna happen. You're either gonna look at your report and be like, oh my god, that was crazy, or be like, holy hell, I just got the PP. That's just what I noticed with Nevsky+William. But you also got to consider, like I was saying earlier, William brings other buffs for your other marches. So even when you're taking the bad trade here, you're still giving good value to your other marches off of that William buffs. Okay. So do keep that in mind whenever you're going with this pairing, guys. And of course, in my opinion, I highly recommend the Nevsky+William pairing. I think it's a very, very good, solid March. Anyways, until next time, that's your boy SkyWalker OG saying peace out and have a good one.